Mercedes-Benz W163 door check replacement. The door check on this ML350 is broken, and you'll hear it right here, that snapping noise. And you can see it's not stopping the door. And if we look, we can actually see where it's broken. See how that's moving there? Yeah, right there. It's broken. So we're going to go ahead and replace this. To get the door panel off, we just have a few screws and a bunch of clips. There's 2 screws underneath here, so you just want to get in with some kind of pry that's not going to mar it up. You just go on the bottom there and this will pop out. You might have to guide it a little. It's just this feature here and that feature there that's going into these holes. And then inside those holes there's a couple Phillips head screws. So we'll just go ahead and remove those. Those are those 2 fasteners there. Then right here on this SRS logo, you want to pop this out and check. If your door panel's been out before, sometimes people forget to put this one back in, and looks like it's missing in this one. But you would go in there with the screwdriver and remove that. That's going to be another Phillips head. Then up here by the mirror, you want to just pop this trim piece out. There is a clip on the top like that, and then you just kind of lift it up. I'll show you what I mean here. That clip there goes in there. This just goes around that there. Then you can leave this connected if you have trouble with the speaker wire. All you got to do is pull it apart, kind of wiggle it, and it'll come apart just like that. Then you can put it to the side. This here is the part I was trying to show. It just goes around this here, and then this clip is in that hole. So if you pop it out of the hole first, then you just kind of lift it up. So if this removes these 2 fasteners here and that fastener there, if there is one in there, you want to use your pry. And I like to start down here on this bottom corner. There's a pretty good possibility you're going to break some of these clips, and I'll get into that a little later. You want to get behind here and just kind of pop that panel out and go along each one. And then once you're around the sides, it'll kind of come off the lip there, and then you can lift it and bring it down. Now if you don't want to disconnect any of these things in here, you can just loop around this armrest steel and then go around the door just to hold it in place. If you do want to disconnect them, I'll show you how to do that as well. If you do want to disconnect some items to get a little more space, all you got to do down here with this light is reach around and just kind of wiggle it, and the plug will come out. Then you can just leave that dangling. And then with the plug undone about down below, you have a little bit more slack. You can just pull back on this cable and then pull it out of the guide like that. And then it's just going to loop out like that. Then you can completely remove the door panel. That's what we have there with the door panel out. And this stuff here, just be careful with this stuff, this butyl, because if it gets on your clothes, it will never come off. And we're going to be getting back behind here. It's pretty cold in this garage, so it's not going to be too sticky, but if it's a warm day, that stuff gets very sticky. So we can pull this back without tearing it. We're going to go ahead and remove a couple fasteners for the speaker here. There are 3. They're all Phillips head, and here's one here. There's another down here, and then another on this side. There are those fasteners, and with those 3 fasteners removed, we can pull the speaker back. You can leave the speaker wire connected and just put it on something. If you want to disconnect it, you can see right there, there's just a little tab that needs to be pressed in. Just press it in and kind of work it back. Like that. I'll just go ahead and put the window up now, because we need that area to pull the door check out. So the window's up now. Now we'll just pull this back, and again, this stuff, don't get it on your clothes. We don't need to pull it back all the way, but we want to have access to this hole here and that one there. So that's probably about good. I'll probably be able to work with that there. Now we just have 3 fasteners, 2 10mm here, and that's a hex over there. We're just going to break each one of these free at first, not remove all of them. And this one here is a hex 6. You want to make sure you're all the way in there. I should probably get an extension. I'll get an extension when I install it. So we'll go ahead and remove this one. There's that hex. Now we'll grab those 10 millimeters there. These will probably just spin out by hand. Yeah. The door check can't just come right out this hole because of this track right here. So the key, the secret is to pull the track off. This part right here that's kind of tack welded in, just grab the rubber part of the track, pull it towards you like that, and see where it's going to go back on, and that'll move it enough. Now we can move this out of the way as necessary. So I'll just reach in here and just kind of pull it like that. I think this will be good enough. And we can pull this out, and we're going to go out. We're going to go out the bottom, out this hole down here, where my hand is. So I'll just push it past that. It's past that track. And then take it out here. So now we'll grab our new one, or in my case, used one. And you'll notice on the top that the part number is the same for left and right. It has a front FL, so front left, and then if you flip it this way, it says FR. So that just means that when we finally get it in its last position, we want it to be like this on this side. If you're doing it on the other door, you would want it like that. We're gonna go right back in through here, and if you get it in the wrong way, it's okay. There's enough room to turn it around, but I'm just gonna aim back through the hole up here, and I'll have to maybe push that track a little bit out of my way. Push the track back a little, like that. Okay. Then just line the studs up through those holes. Now we have it set up. We can get these nuts on here. I'm just going to spin these on kind of hand tight and then get the hex bolts in as well. And there's supposed to be some kind of like little pad that goes here, between here and there. This one doesn't have it, but if you have one, just go ahead and transfer your old one to your new one here. I'm just going to get this hex head bolt in here. We'll just do everything hand tight and then go around slowly torquing each one in, and I'll give you some torque values if you're interested. We'll get these tightened up. Final pass. We gotta go back in here, and all we're gonna do is just push that rubber piece back onto that part there. And so just kind of, let's see what's on the back right there. Just kind of get it in place. I'm just gonna put the window down there. Make sure that that's right. It looks good. If you knocked any of these out of place, you can just kind of put those back in. That just snaps in there. I won't close the door all the way, but I am just gonna move it a bit. And that feels much better. It's not making that crazy noise either. You don't want to close the door when you've got the panel off, because there's a chance that something might interfere. You might not be able to get it open very easily. So the door check is back in. We can go ahead and get this insulation soundproofing stuff back in place, and then get that speaker in. So you can kind of see where it went, because it makes a mess. You just kind of press it back about where it would go. Down here there's a nice little guide. Just push all that in. Let's go in here. That one looks like that kind of popped out a little. There we go. Push all that back in. You can put the speaker back in. The electrical connection goes on the top, and the fasteners are those 3 long fasteners that are Phillips heads. And it's already kind of, those little plastic things will help hold it in place. Once you get it on, you just only need to get like 1 fastener on, and then it will kind of stay in place while you tack them all down. Those fasteners in, now we can reconnect the electrical and just push it until it snaps. Now we can get the door panel back on. Now taking a look at the back of this door panel, these are the clips that you're likely to break. They'll either come out like this, which is actually kind of good when they come out like this, with this wide thing on it. Like this is good, this is good. Or they might come out like this without that wide thing on it. In which case, hopefully, it's in the door still, like that. That would be an example of that. But sometimes both of these things break, or you get like a situation like this. Where it pops out of the holder. Well, in that case, this holder is actually broken on there. Those are just going to go there where you see that one. That's the one that popped out because the little plastic part where it goes is broken. That's one that didn't come out with the whole thing. That one as well. There, and then the spots where there's just a hole, like there. That's where the whole thing came out. So we're just going to be lining them up back in those spots and then giving it a good hard, like just kind of bang it and it'll pop in. I used the Harbor Freight plastic welder to put that little piece that broke back on. It's nothing pretty, but it's better than nothing. If any of these are stuck in there, like that pushed all the way down, you got to get them out and put them back on the door. I don't have any special technique for removing these. I seem to always break them when I do. Sometimes you can get in there with this and use this tool. Again, that's not to remove that. That's really difficult to remove without breaking. I'm saying if it's like that. But you got to get them and pull them onto the door panel so that they're on there like that. So I'll push this one back in here. That one that broke. So make sure you've got some clips all the way around. And then like these are going to be going in where there's just an empty hole because that other side came out with it. But then other ones, like the ones where the white one there, those are just going to be going in like that. So just make sure you have them matched all the way around so that they are going to connect to something. If you undid the cable for the door latch, you want to put it back on, slide it through here, and then back here, just pull it back and get it back in that guide. And then let that go and tuck back in there, just like that. Likewise down here for the light, you just got to line that up with the socket on there. Thing. Now to get the door panel back on, you want to make sure you remember to put the lock through here, and then it's kind of broken on this ML, but the back part of this, you want to loop it into this groove. It doesn't really work so well on this one, but you'll see what I mean as you put it on. So we'll get this first through that on the top, and then you want to get it lined up in the top first. Here's what I mean, put that through there, and then this you might have to press down, but you want this to be tucked in there real nice and trim, like that. And then you'll know you'll have it lined up if when you look down here, you've got one of those lined right up with the hole, see that? So next we'll go around and just line those all up with the hole, and then once they're all pretty much lined up in one area or the whole thing, you can just hit it like this and it'll pop those in. I went around the perimeter and checked all of them and they look good, so I'm going to go ahead and get it in there. And looks like I got them all. Now we just have the fasteners. If you had one there, you want to put your one there that was behind the SRS. Then after you put your fastener back in there, that just pops in like that. And these two fasteners here for the handle, there and there. Then this piece, get the bottom one lined up first, and then I'll go on the top and just snap it in. Then this trim piece here, remember it's got this one on the back and this here is going to go in there. First we'll reconnect the electrical for the speaker. You just line it up, it only fits one way, press it together. Then this part goes in there. And that part goes there. So that's lined up, and once that's lined up, snap it into place. That's it on replacing the door panel there. It's a good idea to check your lever to make sure that it's moving smoothly. And now what we'll go ahead and do is check this door check, and nice and smooth, no clicking sound anymore. And you can see it'll do this, which is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to hold the door from swinging all the way open unless you push it all the way open like that. So that is a success. I hope this video was helpful for you, and thanks for watching, and good luck with your repair.